So we've just finished another women's hour, this time on rest without permission. Um, we rested together. Um, and I'm just trying to think of my big takeaways. One of the women at the very end said that she was going to, the thing she most wanted to take away was to remember to have to snack on rests throughout the day. And that stayed with me.
I agree with you, Kim, that it was restful,
Mm,
despite the late time in the evening where I am and stuff. And I think one of the things I take away is about remembering that rest is not necessarily about not doing anything. It can be, but sometimes it's more about how you're doing it, why you're doing it. Yeah. Um, so while it can be absolutely fantastic to do nothing, I think it was important to say, like, just that little moment of allowing yourself to just go and have, like, what's daytime telly? If there's a program you want to watch, have a treat. Yeah. um but that, like, I think I said at the end, for me it's like I really got what the women on the call really got me in touch with was the rest that is to be found in being present and connected to self and to each other. And how often we live in a world that is so alienating and disconnecting us from ourselves. Like what you shared about coming back to the body, and the body will tell us what it needs. Most of the time we just disconnect. And I wonder to what extent that's where all or most of our stress comes from. Because if I'm disconnected, I must be always seeking to go somewhere else to get back to connection. So I got really a sense of just this little brief hour we had together at the restfulness and just being present and connected.
mm. Yeah. And how often we treat rest and, like you said, not doing nothing necessarily, but treat restful activity too as if something we have to earn, and that it's a reward for our productivity, and that actually turn that around. Maybe it's the fuel, maybe it's what we need to be better at whatever it is, resourced at whatever it is we want to do, whether it be our work in our home or our work at work or our parenting. And in fact, how important it is. We talked about where do we learn? Where do we learn how not to rest? Where do we learn that it's not okay to rest? And how do we pass on a different message to our children? And how actually, when we role model it, when we live it ourselves, our children will also naturally learn it. You talked about how meditation isn't about meditation for meditation's sake, it's a practice, so that we bring that in, that meditative quality into our whole lives. The same way as we also talked about how being playful can be incredibly restful, being spontaneous and doing the things that we love and feel passionate about is restful. So whilst um, doing nothing can be also restful. Sometimes it's about what we're doing and how we do it that is what is restful. And then, of course, sometimes we have these incredible routines, these self-care routines that become a tyranny, that become a to-do list. Designed to bring us rest, to give us our rightful kind of self-care, can in itself become become something that is stressful.
Becomes another to-do list that stresses us out.
Mm,
Yeah. Mm. Mm. It was beautiful.
mm,
There was another thing I forgot about what it was just now. Um, it's the thing about nothing is worth doing. Um, I think what you touched on about, oh yeah, I wanted to come back on the importance of recognizing when do we rest and when are we just collapsing, going from overactivity and then into collapse. And because we don't actually know the vibrant restfulness that maybe could be forming much more of the foundation of the way we live. Um, I think our culture has a very almost compartmentalized attitude to action and no action. And of course, with my lens on gender and stuff like that, I do see it as it is a sorry, it's a leftover from the patriarchal value system. That the masculine activity is overvalued, whereas the feminine receptivity and so-called passivity is not seen as the importance of, like the classic thing is the difference between the sunlight and the moonlight. Don't tell me the moonlight is passive. Yeah,
Mm.
it is reflective, but it is not passive. It is not actively engaged in doing anything, but by its being in itself, its beingness becomes its doing. And I think as women, that is one of the things that we could really benefit from looking more into, to trusting that our beingness is where our true doing and strength and creativity is going to spring from.
I loved that session.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Me, me too. Yeah. And thank you, Kim. Good.
Yeah. Thank you.